a starter on a 99 Honda Accord. Most of them should be pretty similar. If yeah, hopefully this will be helpful. But if you look over here, this is basically where your starter is, and that's what we're going to be taking out. I'll show you what we'll be putting in. This is what the new one looks like. Just got this out of the box. So anyway, yeah, we got to take that guy out and put this guy in. Do one of the first things you should always do in changing your starter, which is disconnect your battery, because your battery basically one of the first things it goes to in your car is the starter, and it's one of the things that, you know, it is, your battery has all the thick cables for. It takes a lot of juice to start your car. So we're gonna disconnect these two terminals, and we're actually going to end up taking the battery out. And this, we might end up, I'm going to try first just taking off the connections here, and then the connections on the starter itself, which you can see one right here. And then if I can get my camera to focus, we've got another one right there, right there, and right there. And then we'll have a screw right here, right there, and then we'll have another screw on the very bottom side there. Pretty much for any European car, you just use a 10mm end wrench for your battery terminals. Generally you want to take off your negative first. Yep. All we did was took the top screw and the bottom, or the top bolt and the bottom bolt off, took off both the power connectors, and then this should just slide out. It should hold itself in there. It should hold itself in there while you take your bolts out, because, you know, it does have the gears and stuff on it, still holding itself in. But then you just gotta mess around with it here until, yeah, so here's what our starter looks like. Nothing too much of note, but yeah, that's what you're do a little detour there. Found out that there's a difference between the automatic and manual starters on these cars, and where I'd first gone to get the first starter didn't clarify that, and I knew when I looked in my car they looked different, but decided to go ahead and pull mine out anyway. And yeah, they were in fact different, and the automatic would not fit in this manual car. So we now have a manual starter for this thing. It will, the basic tape down between the two is really similar, but yeah, time to put the, yeah, this is what the bolt looks like that goes in the bottom. It's a lot longer than the top one. The top one's a 14mm, and the bottom is a 18. The bottom is really hard to get to and hard to see. It was a little bit frustrating getting out, because I had assumed it was going to be the same 14mm that the top was, and it wasn't. But anyway, view of this bottom bolt. I'm going to try to stick my camera under here, because I can't actually really even see it, but yeah, that's where the 18mm goes. It's right, just follows that, the edge right on around underneath, and there it is. I'll pull off my socket here as well, but right under there. So yeah, I'll just thumb tighten that top one, so I'll tighten it down the rest of the way, and then I'll put on my electrical connections. So yeah, the way this works is underneath this rubber cap is a little ring that goes over. I had to take off the bolt first, but it goes over, and actually I see that there is a little lock washer, so I'll make sure that goes on the top. Actually, it shouldn't matter. It should be able to go on the bottom. I'm just going to put the screw on the top here, so it goes like that. So I can get it to start straight, that would be nice. So yeah, I'll tighten that down. We're gonna put this other little plug here, which mine doesn't look so good, but I'm just gonna use it. It's got this kind of a connection on it, and basically this needs to just slide over the inside of here, which is easier said than done. Right. Just putting the battery back on here. Ours has this little locking mechanism here, just hooks down in the sides. But yeah, once we have these terminals connected, we'll be able to test it here. Let's put on the just basically the top screw, top bolt, bottom bolt, this connection here, and then this connection, which connects straight down in there. And then yeah, first of course disconnect your battery, but yeah, anyone could do that. It's really not that hard. So yeah, this is back to 10mm, our 10mm end wrench here, and get these snug. You don't want these to be able to wiggle at all, or you won't be able to. You got to use you have a good enough connection, and they tend to get loose if you don't tighten them well, so that's what we'll do. Alright, so we're going to give it a test here. Cool. Before it was, you'd turn the key and it would click, click, click. The third or so try it might start. Just been getting worse over time, so it seemed to be worse after it had sat for a while. It wouldn't start, but yeah, it's in there, it's solid, connections are all connected up, battery's back in place. Yeah, so really not that complicated.